الله الكبير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله الكبير. Again, indebted to God for this unique opportunity that He's given us today, and this is, again, it's not by accident. This is by divine design and providence, and so we have to cherish this moment and make sure that we are grateful and appreciative of what God has provided for us. Again, all of the provisions that we have is coming from God, and we have to remember that, and remember God for giving us that opportunity, and especially during this month. This is the last week of Ramadan, and so we have to be on our best behavior and make sure that we are remembering God and the blessing that He's given us through this act of worship. And all of these are meant to be a vehicle by which we can actually get closer to God. So this is an important thing, an important task that we are actually performing today, and this is only for the sake of God alone and no one else. And so we should remember all of these points in our lives. Again, God is always appreciative of what we are doing, always grateful for what we are doing. And so we have to respond in kind and be appreciative and grateful and thankful to Him for all the blessings that He's given us. And there is no end to this blessing, and so we should try to remember it. And if you forget, ask God to remind us. And so again, I want to do this and make sure that we all are on the same wavelength, and we understand it, and we take it to heart, and our mind and our hearts are geared towards praising and glorifying God. And so that should be our task. So today what I wanted to discuss with you, I wanted to read some of these chapters here. I'm sorry, this is not it. That's let's see here. What do we have? Yeah. Okay, we're going to go to this thing that I wrote up today, and I selected some of these verses. I think this is 283, not 293. So let me fix that. 283. This is that God says, and we took a covenant from children of Israel that you shall not worship except God, the first commandment, and be good to your parents and the relatives and the fatherless and the needy, and speak to the people amicably, and observe the contact, pray, and give the cleansing charity. But you turned away except for a few of you, and you became objectors. So I put this needy in boldface so you can see it. Okay, so and here we are doing the same thing here, okay? And this 841. Therefore you shall know that any sudden gain that you receive, whereupon a fifth of it belongs to God, and for the messenger, and for the relatives, and for the fatherless, and the needy, and for the refugee, if you have faith in God, and in what we revealed to you, to our servant, on the day of the statute book, the day the two groups met, and God is all powerful over all things. So again, we go on, and indeed, charities are reserved for the poor, the needy, the workers in charge of the expenditure, and the brokenhearted, to free the slaves, to forgive a debt, and in the cause of God, and spend on the refugees. This is the duty decreed by God, and God is all-knowing, all-wise. Again, and this is in order to witness the benefit to mention God's name during the known days upon what he has provided for them from the quadruped livestock. Therefore, eat therefrom and feed the despondent and the needy. And what God bestowed upon his messenger, I forgot to put the verse number for this one. You can find it by just look at the word needy in the Seamless Quran, and you can find it. And what God has bestowed upon his messenger from the people of the communities belongs to God and to the messenger and to the relatives and the fatherless and the needy and the refugees, so that they may not be monopolized by the wealthy among you. And what the messenger gives you, you shall take, and what he enjoins you from, you shall avoid. And fear God, for indeed God possesses the severest consequence. And then 76:9, and they feed the food that they love to the needy and the fatherless and the captive. Say, come, let me tell you what our Lord has prohibited for you. Okay? So I wanna just stop here before I read this verse here. Okay, this is 6:151, and so God assigns tasks to people, and through these tasks that God has given us, okay, there are huge blessings in there. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to stress the fact of pregnancy of women today. Okay. You know, a lot of women, they may look at pregnancy as some kind of burden or something. But that is a huge blessing from God. For 9 months, okay, they provide charity to a fetus which is inside the body that God has put there. Think about it. Okay. See, I put the word needy there. Who is needier than a fetus? He has no refuge. Okay? He cannot find food, he cannot eat food, so he depends totally on the charity of somebody. And that's a huge blessing on women. And they don't understand it. Okay? They think this is a burden on them. And I'm talking about a legal marriage between a man and a woman where they have responsibility for each other, not fly-by type of things, okay? I'm not talking about relations that are ending up in unwanted pregnancy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something which is God as a part of mechanisms that He has created for us. Men doesn't have that responsibility. Men doesn't have that honor. They do not have that honor. Okay? Men don't have that honor. Only women do. And that's a huge blessing. And now look, okay, I'm gonna say, it says, okay, never set up anything as a partner for him. And you shall be good to your parents. And you shall not kill your children from the fear of poverty. We provide for them as well as them. Okay? And do not approach vice, be it public or private. And you shall not kill a soul, for God has made it sacred, except in the course of justice. He thus has decreed these commandments for you that you may think. As for the livestock, we render them for you as God's portents. There is good in them for you. Therefore you shall mention God's name upon them, and when they are in line, and when they fall on their side responding to you, eat therefrom and feed the one. And feed the one who's condemned with little, and the beggar. We thus subdue them for you that you may be appreciative. Okay? think about this verse a little bit. Okay, feed the one who's content with little. Okay. Okay, a fetus is content with little. He's not asking for much. Okay. The entire day, on average, the entire 9 months of pregnancy. Okay, not when you're small, but when it grows up in the in the womb. Okay. The entire time, if you do take an average, if the weight that it needs as provision, okay, is less than the weight of a hot dog per day. That's all it needs. Okay. So you see, I go back to that. This is a huge honor. Pregnancy is a huge honor. It's given to women. And by that, there's 9 months of unstoppable charity that doesn't go away. So we have to be very careful, okay? These days, there are a lot of things in the news and all over the place. And again, I'm not talking about those kind of things, okay, that has been actually caused by another sin. Okay, you just read it. Okay, here. I'm going to find it here for you. Okay. And do not approach vice, be it public or private. Okay. I'm not talking about that. Okay. You can change the names and everything. But it says, you shall not kill your children from the fear of poverty. We provide for you as well as them. Okay. So it's very clear. The Quran is very clear. Okay. Again, God is the advocate of those who have no voice. Okay? The fetus has no voice. And he's not asking for much. Okay? I believe that verse that I didn't have a number for, I think this is 59:7. I may be wrong, but you can check it. Okay. So anyway, these are God's commandments, and I'm trying to mention them to you, okay? And so I'm not talking about those kind of things that people are making mistakes, okay? And then one mistake has to be fixed with another mistake. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm talking about the honor that has been given to women during this 9 months. Is beyond our imagination, but we never looked at it that way. Okay. And I said, it's not much. Okay. Truly content with very little. Okay. Less than the weight of a hot dog per day, on average. So this is some of the wisdom that God has given us, okay? And so, again, our task is that we have to take the path of God, okay? And again, all of these, the fatherless, the needy, and speak to the people amicably, and observe the contact prayers, and give the cleansing charity. But you turned away, except for a few of you, and you became objectors. This God is talking about children of Israel. Again, you see here the interesting thing, okay? And observe the contact prayer. Okay. That we keep badgering every week here that we have to do that. We cannot lose it. Okay. So think about these verses, and then we'll go to finish this unit, and then we'll go to the second unit. Okay.